Yeah. So today we will be discussing on classes and objects. We already discussed on what is arrays. Arrays are homogeneous data type, and arrays are continuous memory allocations, locations. Fine. And today we will be seeing with a case study, like what we're going to implement an employee. 10 employee details we need to store. Okay. So what are the different fields an employee can have? Suppose he has an employee ID, employee name, he has a salary. Okay, all these three things. So all these three things I want to store for 10 employees. So how will you design it? If I want to go for 10 employees, you will think like, okay, 10 employee IDs I need, 10 employee name I need, and 10 employee salary I need. Fine. So 10 employee name ID needs, you will come up with this idea. Int emp ID equal to new int of 10. So 10 employee IDs. Next, string, you know that, right? String array. String emp name equal to new string of 10. Okay, so 10 employee names. Next, double double emp salary, salary equal to new double of 10. So like this you will store 10 employee IDs, 10 employee name, and 10 employee salary. If I want the fifth employee details, what will you do? You need to print emp id of 4, because array index starts with 0, right? So emp id of 4 will print the fifth employee ID. Sys out emp id of, emp name of 4, right? It will print the fifth employee's name. Sys out salary of 4, it will print the fifth employee's salary. So what is happening here is, you need to take care of the index basically. Okay, you need to decide that 4 in emp id is for fifth employee, 4 in emp name is for fifth employee name, 4 in salary is for fifth employee salary. Okay, on the other hand, this is important, a single employee detail is scattered in memory. Scattered means what? When I declare int employee id equal to new int of 10, means that says 20 bytes of memory which has all the employee IDs. String emp name of new string of 10. String is it's already a class, so we are not sure how much memory it's going to occupy. But all the names are put together in another block. And salary, all the salaries are put together another block. To access a single employee details, which is a normal use case generally, you need to go with three different blocks of memory, right? You need to go for employee ID separately, employee name separately, and salary separately. Three different memories in RAM, which is not advisable. Fine. And you need to maintain the index as well. Maintaining the index means you have to, if suppose in a loop, if you miss something, right, the employee ID, some employee ID may come to some employee name. Okay, if you take something wrong. Okay, how will you implement this program? With this implementation is what you will do. You will get a loop for int I equal to 0. You will put I less than 10, I plus plus. Next you do like emp id of I equal to emp id of I equal to sc dot next int emp name of I equal to sc dot next salary of I equal to sc dot next double. You will do all these things, right? So what is happening here? Each and every step you are filling. The first time in the loop, emp id of 0, emp name of 0, salary of 0 is filled. Second time emp id, and so on. So you will program like this with this approach. Fine. So this is our, because these are our homogeneous data type, you are need to maintaining the index, and you will be searching one by one here. So you understood like what is happening here with this approach, right? Till this point everyone are clear, like with this approach are we going to store, get, display with the arrays? Hello?
Yeah, clear.
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So I hope everyone is clear with this till this point. So my motive is to store 10 employee details. So each employee has a field called employee ID, employee name, and salary. So I created an array for each separate thing. So instead of doing like this, okay, in C programming, in C++ itself, they introduce structure, struct. which is heterogeneous data type. When you come to Java, that is called a class, but class is not that much alone. It is more than that, because we write everything inside a class in Java. Okay. So what we do, we create a class employee. Okay. So far, all the code we typed is inside some method. We learned some methods, right? We had did a add method, some few methods. We passed an array also in the last class inside methods. And basically, public static void main itself is a method. We all know that. All the variables we declare inside a method are called local variables. You need to know that. This is an important point. All variables declared inside the method are called local variables. The variables declared inside the class directly are called instance variables. What do you mean by instance? Yeah, the local variables, the local variables will be in the stack memory. The instance variables will be in the heap memory in Java. There are two memories in Java. Okay, one is stack and another one is heap. We will see that in later in detail. But you need to understand all the variables we declared inside the method are called local variables. Directly inside the class directly are called instance variables. Instance means when you create an object for a class, you will create an instance. In that memory, it will like I will explain you how it is. So in the class employee, I'm going to declare three fields. Public int, these are instance variables. So what is this public? When I put public, anyone outside the class can access my variable. Okay, anyone outside the class can access my variable. Okay, not only inside employee. If I want to access anyone with the employee object, with the employee reference, I need to put public. These are access specifiers. For local variables and all, you will not give public, private and all. This is instance variable. So I'm going to give public int emp id. Next public string emp name. Next public double salary. Fine. All these three. Okay. Now see, employee is your own data type now. You need to think in that way. So like a int float double string, you created a class called employee, which is your own data type, which is capable of holding an employee id string double. But end of the day, your own data type also contain primitives or some data types inside Java that you need to understand. Fine. So employees is a heterogeneous data type or a class. Now you created one data type and inside that you have three specific fields. Fine. I have put public because I can access anywhere outside. That's why I will put public now. Okay. Now I'm going to create one more class to implement the same program, which is called employee test or employee, yeah, employee details. So in that class, I'm going to have public static void main. You can have n number of classes in a project, but whatever the class that has a public static void main only will run if you run the entire project. Or if you have more public static void main in more than, I mean, two public static void main or three or four classes contains public static void main, you need to decide which particular class you need to run. Okay. So now two classes I have. One class is employee with public int emp id, public string emp name, public double salary. Now another class public static void main string arguments. So similarly declaring like a int, you declare a int, right? Int abc, okay, double abc. You can declare something like this employee e. But e is not pointing to anything. No memory is created now. When you say employee, e will be in stack. I said right, all local variables will be in stack. E is just a reference, which is just a local variable because it is declared inside a method, which will be in stack memory, which is not pointing to anything. No memory being allotted. So what you need to do in Java to allocate memory for your class a template, you say like this: employee e equal to new employee. So what does it mean? E is a reference which is pointing to an object. What I mean by object? New of employee is called the object. This is called object in Java. Whenever you create new of something, that is called object in Java. So class employee is a template. This is your own data type. You need to treat like that. And you're creating an object. And E is a just a reference, a variable, which will be pointing to that memory location. Okay. So for example, let me explain you. Mm, yeah. Suppose this is E reference, okay, and say this is the stack's memory. Okay, stack will be like this, right? And say this is a heap memory. So in JVM, two types of memories are there. Local variables will be in stack, objects will be in heap. When I declared employee, only E only will be there. This bubble in this heaps memory, nothing is created. When I say employee equal to new employee, normally in programming, what will happen? Right hand side will be assigned to left hand side. So new employee is a object. First time this will get executed. So what will happen? A big bubble will be created here, like this. Okay. When I say employee E equal to new employee means automatically a link will be established like this. Okay, E is a reference which is pointing to this object. Okay, this bubble. Okay, what will be there in this bubble? This bubble size is, it will be an employee ID, employee name and salary, because this is an employee object. It has int employee ID, string employee name and salary. For int 2 bytes means string, it will allocate some byte salary. So totally 6 plus bytes will be there. For local variables, we were talking about junk values, right? If you don't initialize, but here there won't be any junk values. When you create the object itself, it will initialize with default values. For employee ID, it will be 0. For employee id it will be 0. Okay, I cannot draw here. Employee ID will be 0. Name will be null. For string, everything it will be initialized default null. For salary, it will be 0, 0.0 because it is double. So for integers, it will initialize 0. For all the objects, it will initialize null. Object means user defined classes or existing class in Java. String is also a class, it's not primitive. So it will be null. For primitive like double, it will be 0, 0.0. So an object is created and a link is established between E and the object. Okay. Now if I try to print it here like this in sysout, if I print E dot empid, this is a way to access the elements inside the object. Got it, guys? So here in this E dot means this E will go to this memory and access. You need to think like E is like a remote control and this bubble is like your TV. With the remote control, you can change the channels or access the TV content. Okay. So E dot empid, you will be, now it will print 0. Okay. Sysout E dot emp name, it will print null. Next sysout E dot salary, it will print 0, 0.0 because nothing has been initialized. It just initialized to some default values. You can change the values. How will you change? E dot emp id equal to 1001. E dot emp name. So with the help of the remote control, you are changing the values in your TV like that. E dot emp name is equal to xxx. So E dot salary is equal to some number. Fine. So now here in this bubble, the values will change. With the help of E, you change the value. So this will be like to 1001, and in below a name will be added like xx, and below some salary. Okay. So whoever access this memory, they will get these new values. Fine. Now if I create one more reference like employee E2 equal to new of employee. Okay, what will happen now? Again, another memory will be created like this. E2, yeah, reference is created and separate object will be created again like this. Okay, so in this E2 again employee ID will be 0. These two are mutually exclusive. E is different, E2 is different. So all the objects creation is done in heap. This is heap. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, this is heap. Okay, this is stack. All the local variables references will be in the stack. So E2 is pointing to another memory bubble. So in that bubble, if you put some values, it will get changed. So E2 dot emp id equal to 1002. I can put some values again. So E2 dot emp id, E2 dot E2 dot. When I put this to 1002, and when I put like YYY, when I put like 3454. Okay. So what happened here? All the E2 contents is changed basically. So E2 contents will change it to 1002 and so on, like this 1000, yeah, 1002. Okay. So this is what E2 memory is separate, E1 memory is separate. If I access E separately, E2 is separate. So now what happened? What we have achieved here, our problem statement is to maintain 10 employees. Okay, before the memory was like in RAM was scattered in the sense all employee details are grouped separately, all employee names are grouped separately, all employees are now each employee is grouped separately, which is ideal scenario, correct? If I want some employee, go to his memory and get all his details. Why scattering the employee ID separately, name separately, and this separately? So these are called objects. Okay, so we will create real-time scenarios in terms of objects in memories. If I want the first employee, take this guy. Second, take this guy. Third, we want one more, take this. Let each employee details be separate. Employee ID, name, and salary grouped as one memory, rather than putting those in three individual memory blocks. So that has been achieved. Okay, but still we are not addressed the problem. We want 10 employees. That is not ideal case by declaring E1, E2, E3, E10, E10, E9. Okay, fine. We will see that how to do. Next, employee E3. Now, when I say simply like this, what will happen? When I say e3.empid, when I print sysout e3.empid, what will be the output here when I print sysout e3.empid? Any guesses?
Will it throw an error or
Yeah, what error it will throw?
uh,
Vivek, are you there?
variable?
Ashok, will it be null?
Null. Will it print null or throw some exception? Actually, E3 is not pointing to any memory location. Fine. So if it doesn't points to any memory location is, if I have E3 here, see E3 is there. E3, what I told, whenever I initialize like E3 equal to new employee, then only third bubble will create it. E3 is not pointing to anything. That means E3 is currently null. Anything that is not pointing to anything in Java is called null. So when I access anything with null, there is a serious problem. So it is not compilation error. When you run the program, when it says e3.empid, when I say e2.empid, this remote control has some sense. It goes here, it fetches in this object, it fetches the employee ID. What is nothing, it is pointing. Accessing anything with null, you will get a null pointer exception, which is one of the worst exception in Java. Okay, if you write a code and end up in getting null pointer exception in projects, you will be going to face a serious troubles. Okay, when you join office or when you work in real-time projects. Okay, so employee E3 sysout e3.empid means something you are accessing on the null. When you print simply E3, that doesn't matter. If I print E3, I will get null. There is no issue in that. That also will get null pointer exception. Reason is it will try to convert a dot to string. Okay, sysout will try to convert dot to string in your class. Okay, but that is a different story. For now, you understand like E3 is null, e3.empid, right? When I try to access something, null dot something will always give me null pointer exception. What happens when null pointer exception occurs? See, I have this code. This is line number 62 from 44. See, I have hundreds of lines of code here. Nothing will get executed. After this line is executed, the program will stop. Even you have 100 lines. Yes, it will not throw compilation error and all. You can simply compile, you can run the program. When you run the program, it will run very prettily till line number 60. When it gets to line number 62, it will not print null pointer exception and continue to line number 63 at all. Program will stop abruptly. Program will get terminated. Fine. Now you guys understood the seriousness of this error, this exception. Everyone is with me? Are you able to understand till this point?
Yes, Ashok.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to be
Ashok,
careful.
why you are saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. One by one. Yeah. Yes, I. Tell me.
uh, yeah. So each and every object is a memory block in JVM. Each and every object is a
Yeah,
memory block.
JVM is typically divided into stack and heap. Okay, so in heap itself you have a lot of memories. That itself is a separate subject, like how a JVM will work. But what you need to basically understand
Okay.
as a Java programmer is a JVM you have two memories, stack and heap. All the objects will be in heap. all the instance variables. I told instance variables, right? These emp id, emp name, and salary, these are not local variables. See, it is directly inside a class. I have not defined this anything inside a method or something. So those things will be inside this bubble. Those are special instance variables. Got it? So but see, e and e2 and all I
Yeah.
defined in stack. Those are references. Those are not actual memory blocks in the heap. Those are just pointers to that memory blocks. So what happened? Employee E3 I declared. It is not pointing to anything. I accessing E3.empid. It's a null pointer exception. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vivek, are you about to ask something?
Yes, sir, sir. Why the program terminates?
The program terminates. The reason is I am at line number 62. Null. You are trying to access something that is not at all there. How do you think like after if, like you want like program to print null pointer exception and continue further? No, that is not correct. Something mistaken has happened.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so it will terminate at that
Okay,
point. See, runtime exceptions. These are runtime exceptions. It will terminate. Exceptions like array index out of bound exception. Array index out of bound exception means you are using array till 10. You are trying to access array of 11 and 12. Program will terminate. If you try that in C and C++, many people would have seen in when you run the program in Linux and all segmentation fault, core dumped. These type of errors might come in your laboratory. Okay, these things are similar to that. Okay, similar means it will throw null pointer exception and it's gone.
I didn't see the MPID. Okay, I understand.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. I understood it.
Yeah, fine.
But you can just print E3.
If you try print E3, what will happen is actually system.out.println what internally what it will do a two string of whatever you give. Again, if I do a two string of whatever I have null, I should get null pointer exception. Okay. So I don't
Okay.
want you guys to confuse on that now. So we will discuss that later. Fine. Yeah. So till this point we created, right? Now coming to our problem statement, we want 10 employees. Okay, instead of creating like this one E1, E2, E3, you can create an array of employees, right? So what you can do? You can create something like employee. You create an integer array, right? Similarly, an employee array, emp equal to new. There you give new int of 10. Here you will give new employee of 10. So do you think 10 bubbles are created after this statement? No, no way. 10 bubbles are not created. See, after line number 65, how it will be in the memory? Any guesses? After line number 65, how it will be in the memory? Any guesses, guys? This is stack.
It will be a single bubble with 10 employee objects.
No, no bubble will be
Sorry,
created.
it's just,
No bubble. Object itself is bubble. Okay, you need to understand that. Typically, an object itself is a
yeah,
bubble.
yeah,
Okay,
bubble.
yeah. So whenever you say bubble, that should be an object. So how many? What will happen after line number 65 is no objects are created. Only 10 references are created. 10 remote controls. You bought 10 remote controls, but you didn't bought TV. That is the meaning of line number 65. So as array, right? Again, the concept is applicable. Array is continuous memory location. It doesn't mean objects are continuous. References are continuous. All the 10 remote controls are together, one after another. So it will be like this in memory. Assume I have put it as emp. Assume it as e because I cannot draw here. It is a MacBook, tough to draw. So I have E0, okay, and this is E0, okay. Next one continuously it will be E1. Got it, guys? And it will go till E9. So what happened here? These memory are continuous. So E0 in the previous time E and E2, E3 all are not continuous. It will be somewhere else in the stack, up, down, anywhere. But here E0, E1, E2, E3 are continuous memory locations like this. Fine. After line number 65, your memory will look like this. All are pointing to null. No one is pointing to any object. Got it, guys? Any doubt here? E0, E1, E2, E3, everything is pointing to null here. After the statement of line number 65, assume EMP as E. Any doubts?
So how can we make them point to objects?
Yeah, next I will do that. After line number 65, it will be like this in memory. No doubts, right, till this point? Vivek, are you clear?
No, sir.
Yeah. So next what will happen? If I try to print it, right? If I try to print sys out EMP of, oh, sorry, sys out EMP of 10, sorry, sys out EMP of 3 dot EMP ID. So what will be the output, guys, when I execute line number 66? Hello?
Null pointer again.
Yeah, it will be a null pointer exception again. Correct, exactly. Everyone is clear why it will be a null pointer exception? Anyone doesn't understand, please ask me. Line number 66 is again a null pointer exception. Everyone is clear? Is Andril clear? Harika, Sai, Murali? Line number 66 will be a null pointer exception.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I
Yes,
told,
sir.
right? Yeah, from EMP 0 till EMP 9, just references are created. No one is pointing to memory. Heaps, objects is not yet created. Andril, are you clear?
I'm clear.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, fine. Pavitra, yourself till this point. Hello, Pavitra, are you there? Okay, fine. So EMP3 of dot EMPID, you will get a null pointer exception here, guys. So what you need to do, how you going to create objects for all these things? Fine. Before that, one more thing. If I do like this, EMP11 dot EMPID, what you will get? Again, null pointer exception. Yes, please answer.
Uh, that is array bound. Is that array bound exception?
Excellent. Yeah. So you have only 10 employees, right? EMP11 dot EMPID. I am only 10 references are declared. See the memory here. Stack will be like this only. EMP of 11 means who is EMP of 11? No one. So before getting a null pointer, such no such reference is there. You will get an array index out of bound exception. Clear? So you need to be clear on memories before. Okay, now let me delete this. So now what I can do, I can simply do like this, emp0 equal to new of employee. So what happens now in the memory? Now one bubble will be created. Okay, e of 0 will be pointing to this. Oh no. E of 0 will be pointing to this. Fine. Because of this line number 67, memory will be like this, emp of 0 equal to new employee. So what will be the values inside? Employee ID will be there, name will be there, salary will be there, because employee class has 3 internal variables, instance variables. Employee ID as usual 0, name null, salary 0.0, because you have not initialized those. If I next step, if I put emp0 dot emp ID equal to 2001, what will happen? With the help of this reference variable, you changed the first value as 2001. Okay, it will be like 2001 in the memory. Next line, emp of 1 equal to, if I do new of, you can ask what about employee name and salary, it will still remain null and 0.0. If I assign, it will change, otherwise it will remain the same. Next one, employee 1 now equal to new employee. When I say emp of 1, dot emp id equal to 2002. So what will happen in this case? Another bubble will be created. The bubbles are not continuous in memory. Only the references, the remote controls are continuous. That is enough, right? End of the day, you use references to access the memories. Correct? This will be somewhere else, but the link will be proper. It will be like this. Okay, and again it will be 2002 inside in this bubble. Everyone are clear till this point? Everyone are with me?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yes. Fine. Handle yourself. Harika.
Yes, sir, sure. I'm following.
Yeah, you are clear, right? Able to understand?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah. Murli, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Fine. So now, instead of giving like this again 0, 1, 2, 3 continuously, what you can do? Back to our basic thing. Put a loop and get inputs one by one. Fill all the employee details. How are we gonna do that? Yeah, like this. For int I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Fine. What I am going to do? Emp of, I am going to create the object itself inside the loop equal to new employee. So what gonna happen here? First time, see, leave all this code from here. Okay. So here employee emp equal to new employee of 10, loop emp of 0. First time when the loop runs, I am creating the first object. Okay, second time the second object. 10 bubbles will be created, all the links will be established neatly. Next, what you can do? Emp of I. If you forget to give this line, guys, and directly if you write like emp of I dot emp id equal to sc dot next int, that's it, you will get a null pointer exception in line number 71. Okay, so it will be a problem again. Fine. So what you need to do? You need to create the object first. You need to understand these are 10 references. You not created an object, and for each reference you created an object. Now once the object is ready, the reference can go inside the object and access it. So right hand side is executed sc.nextInt. It will wait for your input. That input is placed into the object's memory, which is emp of I dot emp id. Okay. So before this, it is good to give a sysout. Enter the employee id, and again a sysout. Enter the employee name. Okay. So the loop gonna run 10 times. You can give employee id of employee. You can give plus I. Okay, plus I plus 1. Reason is employee, enter the employee id of employee 1, like that it will print, so that you will enter the correctly employee id of 1, and again enter the employee I plus 1. So you have emp I of emp I dot name, emp name, right? Emp name equal to sc dot next. Again sys out, enter the employee salary. Why I am giving I plus 1? Then only it will print that many times. Emp of I dot salary equal to sc dot next double. Fine. So all the three details are you entered. So this is going to be run 10 times. It's going to create 10 objects, and it's going to establish the references and fill all the objects. After this loop, what will happen in the memory? 10 bubbles will be created in this heap, like this, like this, like this, like this.
Hello.
Yeah.
Why we have to give I plus 1?
This is just to print, to show the user. Enter the employee ID of employee 1. Enter the employee ID of employee 2. Because array index starts with 0. If you don't give, again it will print enter the employee ID of employee, enter the employee name, enter the employee salary. Again it will print enter the employee ID. Just to give the print statements neatly,
Okay, okay, okay.
nothing to do with the logic. Okay, so you
Okay,
have
okay,
some
I understood.
such 10 bubbles, and you establish all the links. Establish all the links together like this, from here to here, anywhere. Okay, all the links will be established. See, the references are only continuous, no way the heaps. With the reference you can access it. When I say employee I of first time I is 0, emp of 0 dot emp id, this e of 0, whichever it is pointing, there it is filled. Okay, next emp of suppose I is 6, emp of 6, wherever 6 is pointing, that bubble it go inside and it fill the name. So it will happen like that. Everyone is clear till this point? Arika, Sai,
Yes, sir, sure. I'm following.
yeah, Vivek, are you clear?
Yes. I have a small doubt. What happens if I use the same reference variable to create two bubbles, like employee E2 is equal to new employee, and again employee E2 is equal to new. Uh, Not like that. Yeah, employee E2 is equal to new employee, and again if I use employee E2 equal to new employee,
That will
nothing
be
will
a
happen.
compilation error. If you declare, see, declaration means when you declare, see, suppose your question might be like this. Okay, everyone listen, it's a valid question. When I say int a equal to 6, again in the next line, when I say int a equal to 6, what will happen? What will happen, guys, for this?
Uh, uh,
It's a compilation error. Okay, because you cannot declare into two times. Okay, your question might be like this: int a equal to 6, a equal to 7. This is valid. Okay, this is not a compilation error. You declared the variable. Next time you changing the value. You are asking like employee E2 equal to new employee. Next line again employee E2 equal to new employee, which is equivalent to this. Two times you are
okay.
declaring E2 itself. Okay, so that is a compilation error. Okay, you cannot do like this. Your question is like employee say E4
Okay.
equal to new employee. Employee E4 equal to new employee again. So what is happening here? It's a compilation error. This is similar to this, right? But this is correct. Int a equal to 6. Next step you can change a equal to 7. You are not allowed to declare a variable more than once. This is also correct. So your question might be now what will happen? Employee E4 equal to new employee. Again E4 equal to new employee. You want to know what will happen now?
Yeah, it will throw an
It will
error
not throw an
message.
error. This is not a compilation error, guys. This is not compilation error. If this is compilation error, okay, you need to
Oh,
understand.
okay, okay. Can
Okay,
we
this is
specify
compilation error
why
because you are declaring E4 twice. This is not compilation error. This is you are reinitializing to a new object. So what will happen here? See the window here. First, let me draw a. Okay, let us assume this is a stack. Okay, and this is a big heap. Now you said E4, right? I am going to give
Yeah.
E4 and employee E4 equal to new employee. So new object will be created and E4 is pointing to this object. Next line E4 equal to new employee again. It doesn't mean you create one more E4, but one more object will be created and E4 will be pointing to this object. It is not that E4 at a time will point to two objects. This is deleted. You may ask what will happen to this guy. This will be garbage collected. Garbage collection is automatic in Java. So some garbage collector will come, will take this bubble and go away. Okay, I explain again. In line number 82, we are doing employee E4 equal to new employee. So E4 will establish this link first, guys. Okay, in the next line, I am immediately changing E4 equal to new employee. What does it mean? Every time right hand statement will execute. New employee, one more object gets created. E4 will now point to this new guy. Okay, what about the existing list? It is deleted. Okay, at a time a variable can hold only one value, right? So whenever an object in the memory heap is not pointed by any references, periodically garbage collection will happen automatically. It will be garbage collected. That means it's like dustbin. They will clear off the memory. If I have a bubble in my heap, at least one guy needs to point me. A bubble can be pointed by many references, but a reference cannot point more than one bubble. Please understand. Any doubt, guys?
Yeah, I got it.
Vivek, are you clear on this? Are you there?
I'm fine.
Hello?
Yes, Ashok, I am fine.
Yeah, you are clear, right? Harika, Sai, are you clear on this?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, so it is like variables only. What will happen? Int a equal to 6 if you declare. Int a equal to 6, you, in the a memory you will have 6. 7 means it will be replaced. Those are these are will be in stack. But here e4 equal to new employee, e4 will point to an object. Next line immediately you do e4 equal to new employee, it will point to another object. That's it. Fine. Okay. Now I'm going to show you it in Eclipse, this program. I will write an array and I will run and show you. Just a minute, guys. So I'm going to create fine. So first let me create a your data type called class. Okay, employee. So this class doesn't have a public static void main any method and all. It is just like a user defined data type. Okay, in that I'm going to have three variables as I told. Public int. Naming convention is Java. The first word of a the first letter of a word should be small letter. The immediate second should be capital. So emp id public int. Next public string emp name public double salary. Fine, all these things are done. This is a separate class. Now I'm going to create one more class employee details which has public static void main in it. Fine, guys. So here I'm going to write that code first. So let me declare the scanner sc equal to new scanner system dot in. Fine. So now respect to the code, I'm going to use this code. So here I'm pasting this employee emp. Okay. So now I'm going to declare I'm going to have only 5 employees. It's the same concept. I can go a shop and buy an array of size 10, but I can use only 5. That doesn't matter. Okay. So int I0 I less than 5 I plus plus. So I'm going to use 5 employees. So this for loop will make sure 5 bubbles being created with all values filled. Okay. Fine. So now next step what I'm going to do is let us write a program that to just find the employee. If the user enters some details, I want to display the employee details. Okay, once all the employee, you will enter the employee ID to be find. If the employee is there, you will display all his details. If it is not there, you will not display anything. So what you can do for that, you can ask the, you can declare something in TMP ID. You can ask the user like enter the employee to be found. Enter the employee to be found. So emp id equal to sc dot next int. So what you will do, it is again a normal way. See, 5 objects are there. Suppose 5 objects are there here. Array, I wrote one editor, right, where 5 references are there, 10 references are there, each reference is pointing. So again you need to loop. You need to check a one by one reference, one by one remote control. Okay. In that you will access each and every object's memory and check whether the employee ID is equal to the user entered employee ID. So what you will do, you need to put a loop again for int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. What you will do here, you will put like if emp of I dot emp id is equal to emp id. See, this emp id is a local variable where the user entered. This emp id, it will loop first time emp of 0. Emp of 0's reference which is pointing to an object, that employee id whether is equal to the employee id. Similarly till 4. I am searching here one by one. If it is found, I will display the other details with it. Sys out. Okay. What you can do here basically, yeah, you can simply tell that you can print the other details. Emp of I dot name. It's emp name, right? Emp name. So these are all, see, the instance variables will be shown always in blue colors in the editor itself. Emp name, emp id, wherever you see this emp id stored in black in the editor because it is in stack. Okay, it's just a understanding for us. The editor is helping. Emp name. Okay, next emp I dot emp name. You have emp id, and you can display the salary along of the details. So in that you can say sys out employee found. Normal as usual, we used to write one logic, right? Boolean found equal to false. If it is found, we will come here and change it to found equal to true, break. Okay. If it is found, it will display that. Otherwise, if not found, if not found means if it is still false, we'll just display sys out employee not found. Fine, guys. So what is happening here basically? This is a complete program, right? Storing 5 employees with the help of a class, and we display it like this. Okay. Fine. So now what we going to do? I'm going to run this. Enter the employee ID of employee 1. That's why I put I plus 1 here. So I put 1001. Enter the employee name XXXX, salary 1 2 3 4 5. Enter the employee to 1002 YYY, and yeah, and then salary. Enter the employee's ID of employee 3 ZZZ. Okay. Instead of, see what has happened here, I gave wrong input. I mistakenly did it, but it's a learning point for us. Instead of id, I gave ZZZ. So we are storing that in some integer. So with Java throws some exception, the program got stopped. Invalid input match exception. Okay. Yeah, let me run it again. Thousand one name XXX 4567. 1002 name YYY 14 1003 name ZZZ www. Oh, sorry guys, again a mistake. Normally
Actually, why that error is coming?
The error came two times because I gave wrong input. Instead of integer, I gave string. Okay, that's why the error came. Instead of
Oh,
next int is capable of
oh,
accepting int, right? In the place of id, I gave zzz.
okay, okay.
Two times, both the times I typed mistakenly wrong. Enter the employee salary, right? So here, so now you could see all the employee details: 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005 with some names and some salary. Next step, I see enter the employee to be found, because after accepting all the inputs in the program, what I did, I asked the user to search for an employee. So I need to enter some ID. If I enter a proper ID, it will display that employee details alone. Suppose I enter 1003, it will display 1003 DDS and 3423 for me. So I am entering 1003. See, employee found, DDS 1003 is ID and 3423.0 is his salary. Correct, right? If I would have entered wrongly, it would have displayed employee not found. So 5 objects. What is happening with the help of references? I am searching. I am going with emp of 0 first. Emp of 0 dot emp id means emp of 0 will go to that bubble, pick its employee id, checking with the user entered employee id. If it is found, I am displaying like that. And again, if it is not there, goes with emp of 1, 2, 3, 4, and sequentially. Are you able to understand, guys, till this point? Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, Harika, yourself?
Yes, Ashok, I'm following.
Yeah, Vivek, you got it right.
No.
Vivek, are you there?
Ashok, able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you now. Are you following? Are you able to understand till this point?
Yes, Ashok.
You're clear,
Yes,
right?
yes, Ashok. I'm clear
Yeah.
till this point.
So this is what we did with help of creating objects. Now everyone, please listen carefully. I'm
Yeah.
going to put some more questions on how object references are working. So I'm going to create one more class called employee test. Okay. You people need to predict the output here. So follow me carefully. Employee test. So that is what, guys, class and objects. Employee is a class which acts as a template. We call it as a template. Okay, it's a heterogeneous data type. And employee is a class, and the objects are wherever you created new, right? Those things are objects which will be in the heap. These are references. That's it. So three terms you need to be create: class, objects, what is reference, what is instance variable, what is local variable. Fine. So employee test. So what I'm going to do first is employee e1 equal to new employee. E1 dot, I'm going to just give sysout e1 dot empid first. Yeah. Next e1 dot empid equal to 1001. E1 dot emp name equal to AAA. E1 dot salary equal to, okay, guys. Now sysout e1 dot emp id sysout e1 dot salary. Fine. Next step, what I will do, employee e2 equal to new employee e2 dot empid equal to minus 220 sysout e2 dot emp. Okay, guys, when I run this, what will be the output? You need to tell me in the proper order what will print first and what will be the output. So what will be the first output? Tell me one by one.
It's 1001.
1001.
First time, see here. Here is a print statement is there. Line number 9. Will it line number 9 will print 1001?
What will be zero?
Oh, that
It's
will be
local.
yeah, that will be 0. Line number 9 will print 0. Reason? Just now object is created. I have not assigned anything. So what will be there in the memory? EMP ID is 0, right? For E1. After line number 9 only I am assigning 1001. Fine, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, first 0 will be printed. Next, in line number 15, what it will be printed now?
It will print 1001.
1001, correct. In line number 16,
It will print 234.
correct. In line number 20,
Will print minus 2322.
yeah, integers can be negative also. But conceptually it is wrong. You cannot have an employee ID negative, but it is still allowing. Okay, it is printing. I will tell you how to fix it. Okay, later. And but now you can even store negative numbers into your object's memory, which is very vulnerable. Vulnerable in the sense, practically speaking, employee ID cannot be negative, but it is allowing. You're putting directly minus 2322 into employee ID of E2. Okay, that is different story. But the output will be 0, 1001, 2343 minus 2322. Everyone got it? The output. When I run it, see 0, first time 0 because E1 is not yet assigned. So this is an instance variable, it will put 0. 1001, 2343.0 minus 2322. Everyone clear? Vivek, fine, right? Hello? Not able to hear you, Vivek.
Yes, Ashok, I fine.
Fine, right? Till this point, everyone. Harika, Sai, Murli. So, with respect to the output, any doubts?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Okay. Harika, yourself. I think Harika has lot of doubts now.
No, Ashok, I don't have anything. I'm taking notes.
Notes,
I'm clear till now.
till this clear, right? Okay, fine.
I'm clear till now.
Okay, okay, fine. The E1.emp ID will print 0. Now you need to be careful and listen and tell the output. What I'm going to do now is E2 equal to E1. Sysout E1 dot uh, emp ID sysout E2 dot emp ID. Now tell me, guys, what will be the output? Line number 23 and 24. If you understand this well, you are fine with objects and references in Java. 23 and 24. What will be the output? E2 equal to E1. Let me draw the scenario till this. Okay. Okay. Till this. Okay. So let me take up. This is a stack. Fine, guys. And a big heap. And so far we have two objects, right? One object, another object, and two references. One is E1, another one is E2. You know that employee E1 equal to new employee. Because of this, this link is established. And 1001, you have values filled here in this memory. You have 1001 filled, you have 1000 filled, A filled, and 233 filled. Okay, and you have E2. Okay, E2 you have just employee ID around -232 filled. Rest of the thing will be 0.0 and null. Till this point clear? Everyone guys clear? Understood the diagram, right? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now E2 equal to E1. What gonna happen? What will be the output for 23 and 24? Line numbers 23 and line numbers 24. What will be the output?
Wherever E1 is pointing, E2 will also be pointing the same
Same
value,
memory
right?
location. Yes. So right hand side is assigned to left hand side. Listen guys. Wherever E2 is pointing, wherever E1 is pointing, sorry, wherever E1 is pointing, E1 is pointing here, right? This is the line where E1 is pointing, correct? E2 will point to the same thing, meaning what will happen? E2 equal to E1 means wherever E1 is pointing, E2 will also, so a link will be established like this. Okay guys, so I told a reference can at a time point to only one object. Okay, in the reference there will be address of the object, that's it. Okay, so because of E2 equal to E1, wherever E1 is pointing, it is not that E2 is assigned, you should not put equal like this and all, that's wrong. E1 is pointing to some address, right? The same address E2 will also point. Then you can ask, what about this object? Gone, cut, over. So when this link is cut, this guy will be garbage collected after some time. A garbage collection will happen in Java periodically. You need not do delete this thing, nothing. It is automatic. That will happen. So when I print this now, what is the output then? E1.empid and E2.empid. Can you guys tell me?
1001,
1000.
1001.
Exactly. Both will be 1001. Right? Are you clear, Sai? Vivek? Yeah. So both will be 1001,
Yeah.
1001. Vivek, are you clear? Not that much audible.
Yes, Ashok, I am good. I am good.
You are good, right? So this is what happens. E2 equal to E1. You can assign E2 E1, but you cannot assign
One
employee with an.
uh,
Yeah. What is your question?
so if we put E2 equal to E1, it is not like this. It is not assignment, right?
It is assignment only. End of the day, the references will point to some address. Whatever address E1 is pointing, you making E2 also point that. That's it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So E2 equal to E1 means
Okay.
E1 will be pointing to some address. That address is this object's memory. Now you may E2 equal to E1 means you are telling E2 also will point to the same address. So both are pointing to same object. Then what will happen? Yeah, at a time a reference can point to one address only. So this address is no more there. After some time, garbage collector will check each object. Garbage collector job itself coming and checking each object. If anyone, at least one guy pointing, it will leave it. It can be live. If no one is pointing, it will delete it. Its life is over. That's it. It's dead. Okay. Some dependencies need to be there. If it's a useless person, it's like no one is. You are capable of not helping to anyone. No more to live. Something will happen. You will die. Something like that. Okay. So garbage collector will see, check each and every object. No links are there. Okay, collect it. Free this memory. Fine. So that will happen here. If you do suppose instead of E2 equal to 1, E1 equal to E2 means whatever E2 was pointing, the link would have established here. This link would have been deleted. So here both will print 1001 and 1001. Right? No more -2322. You cannot able to access this. All these things are gone now. Yeah. And suppose next line suddenly if you put E2 equal to new of employee, what will happen? This E2 will no more point to this. It will create one more new object and it will point to here. Suppose, yeah, if in line number 25 I write E2 equal to again new of employee. A new object is created, E2 is points to this. Both objects will be there. E1 is separate, E2 is separate now. Fine. Complete flow. Are you clear, guys? This is very important. I'll show you. Run this. So it should print 1001 now. Fine. Both are 1001. So references, objects, how it is assigned, addresses. You should not think E1 will have all the memory. E1 is just pointing to some memory block. Okay, you're just changing the memory blocks there. Till this point, are you clear, guys? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, one small doubt. If again I point again if I write E2 equal to new employee, E2 will point to E1 address, and again the E2 will also point to its
No, no.
new
First, you need
new.
to understand E2 cannot point to two objects at the same time. I am repeating again to you. E2 will point only
Okay.
one object at a time. If you put E2 equal to new employee means it will point to a new object. The reference to this object will be deleted. Okay, it's not even deleting.
Okay.
It's changing the address. See, int a equal to 6. You say a equal to 7. Do you mean a is 6 and 7 both?
No, no.
What is the value of a after line number 27? 7 only, right? If I print
Yeah.
a, it will print both 6 and 7. No, right? Only one value. Similar to that. Those are addresses. It will store some address. In E2, new employee means for employee, one address will be created. One hash code will be created. You will be learning that. That hash code E2 will store. When I say E2 equal to E1, E1's hash code E2 will store. So from this point of view, time, it will point to the E1's memory. Okay, when I say again E2 equal to new employee, a new hash code. Only it's possible to store only one thing, right?
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Got it right? Yeah. So now, any other questions, guys? Vivek?
No, sir, I don't have any.
Yeah. So now you need to try one program. Okay. So what you need to try, you guys need to try. Tomorrow we will see encapsulation. So we discussed about class, objects, how objects memory works and everything. So we have employee details class, right? I'm going to ping you employee class, employee details class as well, both. So we have so far have a logic to enter, find the employee, search an employee. You guys just write couple of things. One is okay, display the employees whose you just give salaries, proper names. Okay, when you run the program, display the employee whose salary is greater than 5,000. All those employees should I should display. That should be the first one. Okay, you can continue. You can I will give the code. You can just write one more sys out here. The employee salaries who's greater than 5,000, and you write your logic. Okay. After that, the second part is display the employee whose salary is maximum. Who is the maximum guy? Okay, display that employee. We already discussed the maximum number in an array, right? Similar to that. Okay, and the third one, display the sum of the total salaries given to the employees. Okay, what is the total salaries given? So all the three use cases, you guys please try now. Okay, everyone clear with the questions? Harika, Sai, Vivek,
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah.
questions are clear, right? Vivek, are you clear with the question? Okay, okay, guys, you just please try this.
Can you just forward the question in Skype?
Yeah, I will forward the question and the code in Skype. You have editor, Vivek? Are you connecting through mobile?
Yeah, it's quite slow here.
Okay, I will ping all the code in Skype.
No, no, I have editor.
Have editor, right? Yes.
Okay, you can just ping me the question.
Yeah, I will ping the question as well. Yes, guys. So I'm pinging all the details in Skype. You can copy paste this class and add on top of it class. Create the similar type of package in your project. I'm pinging the question as well.
Ashok, can you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. Oh, hope everyone got the question. Everyone understood the question, right? Everyone got the question. Harika and Sai, did you got the question?
Yes, Ashok.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Vivek, you also working on it, right? You got the question, right?
Yes, Ashok, the three things that you sent in
Yeah.
Skype, right?
Yeah. Correct. Fine.
I need to have two classes, right?
Yeah, you have employee class, employee details class. In the employee details class
One for
itself,
the employee and
yeah. Another for
okay.
employee details. In the employee details class itself, I already written a code, right? Enter the employee to be found. After that logic, you can write these three logics.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, one by one analysis. Harika, Harika, you there?
Look, I have sent in.
Yeah. So
I
if
have
you,
sent in Skype.
yeah, I saw your code. If you see what is happening, let me share screen again. Yeah, so if you see, I have shared my screen again. So if you see what is happening is without a loop, how will you just simply check Harika if emp of I dot emp sal greater than or equal to 5,000? What is I? When you write a statement there, after that, see emp of I. What is I here? What is the meaning of I here? Nothing, right? So I would have been
I'm
value of
sorry,
5.
sorry, I forgot to write it
Yeah,
down.
you should put that in a for loop. Okay.
Yeah,
Next type for this one is correct. The total
yeah,
certain.
I put
Are you running the program or not?
no, my NetBeans is still a problem. I just did a notepad and everything.
Okay. Fix it before next week. You just contact Murli or someone to try to fix it. Okay. Next sum equal to sum plus emp of I dot salary. So you should not print sum inside the loop, Harika. Each time you will get the intermediate values. First you will get the first employee sum. Second the first and second. Second and third. You need to print the sys out outside the loop. Okay. And the maximum employee is that one is fine, but that also you need to take a backup of the index at which index you found the maximum employee. You need to display all the maximum employees details. Okay, in the if condition, right, max less than empfi dot salary, in that you need to put an index and check one by one again. Fine. Do you understood all the changes what I told?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah. Next with Murli, for loop is correct. It should be max equal to emp of 0 dot salary. Why you are making emp of 0 dot salary as max? Okay, that means in the object's memory you are changing something else. So you reversed it. Right hand side is assigned to left hand side. So this is wrong. I think you also not done in an editor. Next one is Sai. Where is the code here? Okay. No if condition, nothing.
I solved one logic only. I solved it.
Yeah, that is fine. But where is the curly braces and everything? I asked you to put always curly braces, right? So let me see Vivek's code. Yeah, first for loop is correct, Vivek. Okay. So let me, yeah, everyone see my, are able to see my screen, right? I will show my code how I did. So that will clarify your doubts. So from now onwards, whatever thing I tell you, you need to put it in a method. Okay. So see here what I did. Initially, I created an employee of 10. This code is to just get the input. Later on, I can move this also into a method. Okay. And see, enter the employee to be found. I gave search of employee.
I'm not able to hear you properly. Yes, sir.
Hello. Sai, can you go
Yeah,
in mute,
yeah.
please? Yeah. Can you hear me, Vivek? Hello, can you hear me, Vivek?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
So see, first what I did, I made search of
yes, sir, but your
employee.
voice is not
Yeah.
that okay. Yes.
Yeah, search of employee. So you need to create methods for everything. I need to pass the employee array and index how many employees five and the employee ID. I got the employee ID to found. This I already showed you. See, if the employee ID is equal to employee ID, I will return the index where the employee is found. So it will return the index. So automatically index will be there. If index is -1, I will say employee not found, because if it is not doesn't come to this if at all, I am returning -1. Okay, so with that index I am printing everyone, employee found, emp index, and so on. Next logic, employees whose salary greater than 5,000. I wrote one method called greater than 5,000, passing the employee array reference. You know, when I pass an array as a reference, last class we discussed all the contents modified inside also will be modified. So greater than 5,000 here, it coming here. So employee ID who are all greater than 5,000, I am printing it here. Fine. So next step, what I did, a maximum salary. Calling one method again, highest salary, which contains employee and n. N is a count of employees. I'm passing hard coded 5 value there. Coming here, take max as emp of 0 dot salary. Assume that we already did how to do a maximum salary. And then in if condition, if the EMP of salary, the new salary that's going to come is greater than your maximum, make that as a maximum and keep on changing the index. At one point of time, index will be either the first value or the value in which that maximum. With that index, display all the employee details, showing employee name and all those things, whose salary is maximum. Okay, don't just print max. You can take a backup of index like this. Okay, if index 0 or index I, display all those details like this outside the for loop. Okay, that is for highest salary. And the third one is sum of salary, which is quite straightforward. I am making a return type as in double. So initially 0.0, add everything and return the sum. Okay, and once the sum is returned, you just will have it here. You just display the total salary is sum. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send this code snippet to everyone. Okay, you just before tomorrow's class, just go through this step by step. So how it is working, what I did, and so on. Let me run it once to ensure it is correct. I didn't run actually. Yeah, enter the employee ID 1001, name Ayush, employee salary 6000, enter the employee ID 1002, employee name Peter, salary 7000, enter the employee ID of employee 1003, name Kevin, enter the employee salary 4000, enter the employee ID 1004, Sajan, enter the employee salary 5000 exactly, enter the employee ID 1005, enter the employee name Dinesh, enter the employee salary 3000. Okay, enter the employee to be found because program is step by step, right? That also it is asking. Let me enter 1005. Yeah, see here all the details. Employee found, this is the details of Dinesh 1005 and employee whose salary greater than 5000 are. I think I didn't display it. Where I am displaying greater than 5000, right? I need to put salary. That's a mistake. Yeah, the salary. Here I used the salary. Here I used salary. That is a mistake here. Okay. What else it came? The employee with maximum salary is Peter. Is it 7000 is maximum? 3000, 5000, 4000, 7000 is maximum. And see, I displayed the name and ID as well for that employee. 1002, Peter 7000. The total sum is 3000, 5000, 8000, 12, 19, 25. Things are correct. So I changed this one. This will also will work. Okay, guys. I will ping you this code. You people just go through this code. You may not understand now. You just go through completely how I am writing in methods. So you also need to try to develop and understand. Before coming to next class, obviously you need to sit and understand this because year after the next concept you may not understand at all if you don't know this till this point how we are doing. So I'm going to just send this code to all you guys. Fine. So you need to put it and just try it out how it is working, how to put it in methods and all. Okay, so tomorrow we will see encapsulation and we'll just start about inheritance. Tomorrow we have class from 11:30 to 1:30. Fine guys, fine, right?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, fine. Okay, so I'm going to send this to everyone. Okay, fine Vivek, we shall see tomorrow then, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm going to ping this, you please go through, you just ask me doubts tomorrow in the code. Fine. Yes guys. Okay guys, take care then. Bye.
Okay, sir. Bye. Good night.
Please disconnect the session guys.